Yesterday's anti-austerity march in London was something to behold completely. It was one of the most inspirational movements I've ever been in my life, to be honest with you. Some of the things I've been saying over the years, I've been ridiculed by people, friends, family. Obviously now it's becoming more apparent, and to be involved and be with 250,000 people as a minimum who hold the same objective and belief that austerity is criminal, and that by punishing society's weakest people for the mistakes and criminal actions of those who, the international bankers and those who are involved in finance and government, is very encouraging. And just to pick up on, just to be there for the energy. I was rather emotional at some points yesterday. Felt like crying and what have you, but just pure joy really. Went down with some younger people. A lad who was only 16, who's been involved in politics for the last 2 years, since he's been 14. And when I say politics, people think, what do you mean? Is he an MP or something? No, but, everybody's involved in politics. You have power, and the way you exercise your power is politics in general, really. So just to see the kids, babies, children, teenagers, gives me a great deal of inspiration. There was elderly people there, there was disabled people there, artists, musicians, people from every walk, different factions there, from racist, anti-racism movements, anti-disabled movements, the different trade unions, you name it, including one of the most extreme, which is class war, who are rather amusing. And they raise up some important points in a very aggressive way, including we found new homes for the rich, and you'll just see graves, which is pretty in your face, quite amusing. Obviously, I don't think you'd take them very seriously in terms of them getting into full power, because they're motivated by an anger, really, But ultimately, everyone's got a right to be angry. But this whole battle now is about capturing the imagination. The mainstream politicians and parties, they've got the media, they've got the army, they've got all these ammunition and tools behind them, including the mainstream media, to sort of like brainwash people into believing that the most important thing at the moment is fiscal responsibility, which means paying the debts off, which is a load of bollocks, really. The debt isn't meant to be paid off. In fact, all money is debt. All you need to do is do a bit of research to realise this. So the whole thing is a scam, and it's about, slash and burn, shock and awe tactics, really. There is a mass awakening going on at the moment on a very quick stick scale, happening on a personal and local, global scale. And they know, those who are the ones who are behind the scene, behind the politicians, the people who own virtually all of this planet, they realise that they've got to get things done as soon as possible. They've got to rip as much apart as possible and divide and conquer quickly, or else the game is over, because people in general want peace. People don't want war. People are fed up, and people aren't stupid anymore. And you've got the rise of social media, you've got the rise of technology. People are informed now. Yesterday there was cameras, there was iPhone, you name it. It must have just got so much publicity yesterday. So we're on a winner, basically. Even though you listen to the mainstream media and the likes of your main personalities, they'll just call us a bunch of left wing loonies. But ultimately, we've got a responsibility for those that have been before us, who have fought and died for the rights that we now enjoy in the workplace, in the schools, in the communities, everything that they have done, the National Health Service, rights, you name it. It's because we've fought tooth and nail to get these, and now they're being taken away at an alarming rate. So as they keep pushing with these further cuts, 12 billion announced today, then these protests will continue to grow without question. And it's a great time to be alive. So it's important for me. It's obviously avoiding violence. It's about creativity. It's about you know, involving the whole community. It's about being motivated, enjoying yourself. But basically, there's a side to be chosen. You can't just choose to ignore this and think that politics is outside of you. You know, I think Paulo Freire, who's, you know, unbelievable community worker from Brazil, who wrote the book The Pedagogy of the Oppressed, basically says you can't just be neutral in this matter. You either side with the oppressed, and if you don't side with anybody and you sit back, then you are ultimately siding with those with power, and you will continue to see your rights taken away from you. But there's a million different ways to do it. Be creative, you know, like influence people, talk to people, organise, and ultimately it's your imagination. All it's about is imagining a better world, you know, and it will be a much better world if we start to have our way. Those people who are compassionate and can see through the lies and the bullshit. And if you work towards a world which is full of hope and inspiration, as opposed to a world which is full of fear, conservatism, austerity, looking after myself, you know, like in selfishness and greed and all that, then you basically you're a loser. This world is changing fast. There's new energy coming. Jump on it. It's a buzz. See you later.